This is King Noble Black Supremacy, and this particular video is for those individuals or people who are asking me, what is it that I'm building? What is it that I'm building? And I want to make this video as short and simple as possible and clarify this, because I've built a lot of stuff since I've been doing this, but a lot of what I've built that you would consider as something being built has been torn down by white supremacy, just like it has been torn down by other black leaders who have built similar things that had similar visions, similar ideas, and similar aspirations. It has been torn down by white supremacy, and many of you are going to rebuild these same ideas and these same visions. You're going to reconstruct them, because some of you are black Disney World reconstructionists, and you didn't study history. You didn't study what our black leaders went through and what they constructed, and you're going to rebuild it, and it's going to get torn down just like it did when they built it by white supremacy. I can go down the list. So what I'm building is hatred of white supremacy. That's what I'm building. Hatred of this goddamn devil. Because until that is really built up, nothing else we build will be defended, will be permanent. It'll only be temporary unless those who are part of it have a hatred of white supremacy. When I say a hatred of white supremacy, I don't just mean a hatred of the white man. It's included. But I mean a hatred of the system of white supremacy, its ideology, its thoughts, its culture, its religion, its morality. Every aspect of white supremacy must be hated, because even if the white man is not there, these other aspects of white supremacy is why black organizations are torn down from within inside of them, because they didn't hate the white man enough to understand and appreciate independence, to appreciate black sovereignty, to appreciate black rulership, to appreciate black leadership, to appreciate black divinity, black holiness, black perfection, black serenity. They didn't hate the white man enough to have sincere black love. Because if you have sincere black love, you hate white supremacy. You hate the system of white supremacy. You hate everything about white supremacy. If you have black love, sincere black love is the hatred of white supremacy. They cannot be separated. So I'm building up that hatred in our people, because when that hatred rises up to its highest, then we will be in a position to destroy white supremacy before it destroys us. You can't lust after it and hate it at the same time. You can't love it and hate it. Your fairy tale book, the scriptures, say in order to love God, you must hate the devil. And one of the commandments is having no other God besides God. And when you take your shahada, it says, La ilallah illallah, that there is no God but God. So you can have no other God. That means you are complete. You are focused. You are 100%. There is no deviation. There's no confusion. There's no indecisiveness. You're absolutely clear. And that clearly looks like hatred of the other. If you love God, you hate the devil. So nothing else we do will be successful, will be genuinely or sincerely appreciated until we have hatred of the white man. Because if we understand him and what he has done and what he seeks to do and how deceptive and manipulative he is, if we understand that, then we hate him. And if we hate him, we're not trying to re-implement him. If we hate him, we're truly willing to detox from his world, his reality, his mindset, and his culture. If we hate him, we don't have time to hate ourselves. Our hatred is a tool. It is directed. It is an auspicious hate. It is a good hate. If we hate him, we don't have time to be hating on one another. So we can actually get something done. Then we can actually build something. And we hate he who could destroy it. And out of our hatred of him, we destroy his ability and enable his ability to destroy, and are even in a position to destroy him if necessary. Because you don't have to talk about self-separatism, self-sufficiency, and independence if you have hatred of the white man and his world. Because you're just not going to let him in. You're just not going to interface or integrate. The only way you can not integrate is if you hate. You don't have to talk about those other things. They happen naturally. If you have true hatred of his world, his system, if it's truly built up in you, you're not going to want to reconstruct his reality. Have a comparison, have an imitation of his world. Have your own black version of white supremacy if you truly hate white supremacy. So what we build can survive. If we hate white supremacy, it can live. Because that's the only thing that would destroy anything that we're doing, whether it's within or whether it's without. So I'm smart. I'm smarter than all those before us and all of those that don't realize right now that are trying to build something. That you got to build up the hatred first. That's how you know you're pure. And you've reached a pure level. When you hate his world so much, then you hate his drugs, you hate his alcohol, you hate his consumerism, you hate his materialism, you hate his institutions, you hate his prison industrial complex, you hate all of his institutions. I'm building up hatred of this devil. It has to be built up. So for you people asking me what I'm building, is hatred of this damn devil. And when you build hatred up of the enemy, you're truly prepared to now have your own reality undisturbed. You can't love your enemy and love black people at the same time. Because if you love your enemy, you still work for him. If you love your enemy, he still has a rapport with you. He still has a way in. So I'm building up hatred. I'm not building up a garden. I'm not building up a land. I'm not building up a community. Because none of that matters if I don't hate he who will destroy it. And I don't have the hatred of his world that will prevent it from being destroyed or prevent me from self-sabotaging it. Because I'm so obsessed with his world that I can't see black people have nothing. That I don't hate his world, that I can't overlook the minute problems that we'll go through building our own. Because deep in my heart, his world is so much greater that I don't have the endurance to build our own, because I still secretly love his world. The hatred must be built up. And those who hate his world are free. because he doesn't enslave you. He doesn't limit you. Your love of his reality, thus your attachment and attraction to it, is what limits you. Hatred is the opposite thought of being caught up in his world and his reality. So I hope that answers the question for people. I'm spending my time building up hate among as many black people as I can for this damn enemy and his system and his world. And it's not into our minds. It's filled with hatred of his world and his reality. Can we enter into our own heavens? Can we truly enter into our own utopia? Because as long as we have a little love for him, it's going to be mixed in. It's going to be a little bit of poison in it. Those people within black organizations in the past to help take down those black organizations, they still love the white man's world a little bit. They love the way white people see things. They love his money, his fame, his comfort, his religion, his morality, his materialism. They still loved it a little bit. And that little bit of love was a weapon used against us building our own. That little bit of love. So until you reach 100% hatred, we cannot build anything materially, any community, any utopia, any oasis, any refuge. Give it up. Only those who truly hate white supremacy, the white man's world, the system, they God, the white religion, the white morality, the white materialism, the white culture, the white paradigm. Only those that truly hate it can be loyal to a black one, can be sincere to a black one, can be trusted, can be devout, can be devoted. Only those that hate his world. Because he can't get in. He can't smile his way in. He can't pay his way in. He can't legislate his way in. The only thing for him is destruction. And the only thing for those that represent his world and his reality is destruction. That's all those that hate his world can see. So if they have that mentality, we can build something that will last. We can build something that will stand. Anything else is only illusion. That white love will creep on in. Love of the slave master's world will just creep itself on in. You have to hate his world to build something in truth and in righteousness. His world must be hated. I'm building up the hatred that a true black nation can stand on. That black independence, black sovereignty, black militants can stand on. If you hate his world, I don't have to tell you nothing about separatism. Hell, if you hate his world, you don't even need discipline to forsake his things, to not take part of the wickedness of his reality. You don't need discipline to do it. You don't need to fast. You just not going to do it because you hate it. Because of the burning love for your people. You hate the act in the likeness and image of your oppressor and of the enemy and of his reality. The hatred must be established. And it must be built up so strong that we are invincible to him in our hatred of him. That we are impenetrable. We cannot be invaded. We will not let him in. So the hatred must be built up first. Everything else is secular. You build that up, you ain't got to worry about nothing else. Everything else is for a superficial reason. You want to build up a world because you love him. You want to build up a black community because you like the way the white community is and you wish we had a black version of the white community. You want to build it up because you want to prove something to him because you think he's doing so good and you want to show him you can do good too? You want to build it up because he won't let you in? You want your own black version of white supremacy? It's not going to last. Because he's going to come and he's needed to validate it, to certify it, to inspect it, to investigate it, to make sure it's up to his standards. Because it was built out of your love of his world. But if it's built out of your hatred of his world, he has nothing in it, nothing there. He has no place in it. And it can stand throughout the annals of time. See, back in ancient African times, when we were invaded by them, we didn't even know of them to hate them. So we let them in. We was friendly. We befriended them. We did business with them. We loved their women. We loved them. So we didn't know no better. Now we know better. That our only defense is our hatred of him. The psychological, emotional, spiritual hatred of this goddamn devil. If we hate him, we are already weapons. We're human weapons. Hatred is the weaponization of oneself against that which you oppose. And if we direct all hatred towards him that we have nothing but love for ourselves. And that's nation building. It's just love for self. It's not a garden. It's not a building. It's not a community. Hatred is a protective love of that against that which seeks to destroy you and that which has a history of destroying you. It's a clear understanding of who your enemy is and all that comes with him in his world. I'm building up hatred. That's what I'm building. And it has to be built. And in that hatred is the destruction of his reality. And until his world is destroyed, we will never have one. We will never build one. Wherever the white man is destroyed, that's where black supremacy can be built. Wherever he's disabled and destabled, that's what we can build. This King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnobleuncensored.com. Donate. Don't hate.